What's going on, Jess? So I had made a quick video of this yesterday. Well, it wasn't quick, it was kind of long, but I was playing it, having fun. Then I went back and did some history and saw you talking with Alex Vahi on it. So I said, you know what? Let me come back. Okay. What's up, Jess? So I had seen, I had played this yesterday and had fun with it and gave some thoughts on it. But I want to go back and re-record everything. As I went back and watched your interview with Alex, I saw that you really cared about the project and how you was talking about the characters and all that. So I want to come back to it with some constructive criticism. Again, this is all constructive, and if I'm wrong about any of this, hey, this is your vision. A little history on me. I've been using Unreal Engine since 2014. I have a game I'm working on. It's a old classic shoot 'em up. We call them shmups nowadays. And I've been working on it for a little while, finishing up all the characters myself. So I feel you when it come down to characters. Totally understand. But yeah, so first thing I want to talk about is the name. I don't know if it's giving me that feeling of this corruptness throughout the whole UI and setup. Like the way it starts up. I played online. It was kind of choppy. I played one online match yesterday. I came to the settings and was messing with the settings. I was trying to get the best quality. I'm gonna leave it at medium for now. It was running a little choppy for me. Now I'm running on the 5700 XT. I got 64 gigs of memory. It was tapped out from the last generation of graphics cards and all that. So not sure if it was my system or the game, but I do understand that it takes a while to get everything to working right. Now, this is like my only critical thing I have to say about the game is make sure that the characters stand out. Now, for me, I grew up with the Killer Instincts and the Street Fighters and, you know, Mortal Kombats and all that, namely Killer Instinct and Street Fighter for me. But when I first played those games, I remember like I want to play with that character. Before I even played the game, I would look on the back of the case and I say to myself, I want to play with that character, okay? Make sure that feeling when people see these characters, they automatically get grabbed by a character, and they say that, you know, like, man, he looks cool, I'm going to play with him, you know. So like when I went through here, I was kind of like back and forth. I want to come down to some of these other characters, but ultimately I picked her because I tend to pick characters that start off kind of look like Orchid from Killer Instinct. So I picked her, and then I liked her moveset too. I'm not a zoner, but yeah, I like this guy has like this cutoff mask. But just make sure these characters are in your face. If you look at games like Project L and Overwatch and Apex, right? When I played Apex, I was immediately grabbed to Watson when she got announced, okay? Overwatch, I'm not an Overwatch player, but I do have the Overwatch art book. I love the art. I was immediately grabbed to what's her name? The girl with the mecha. Was it May? Not May. May has good artwork too, but the other girl, man, forgot her name. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like before somebody even plays this game, they need to be looking at the character and say, oh man, I can't wait to play this game. I'm going to play with him or her. See? Critical. I just did another video on a game called Onar. All right. And I said the same thing about his game. You know, make sure that the characters stand out. Like, the reason why Street Fighters and Killer Instincts and stuff is still here, because those characters I know, and when the next one comes out, I'm like growing up with these characters, okay? So just like how you grew up with them, you want like the new players that play this game to grow up with them, because there's a new wave of fighting games coming out. There's a new wave of fighting game players, and you want them to play this and play the part 2s and the 3s, which I hope that you do. You want them to play with a character because they gravitate with the character's look, story, arc, all that, and then they just will grow up with them, okay? Like I have grew up with Ryu. You see what I'm saying? All right, so yeah, enough about that. Make sure that as developer goes, you make sure the experience is very, very smooth. I'm talking from gameplay. You can see how this is. Now this might be because I'm recording at the same time. OBS isn't the best thing to use as far as recording, but it's kind of buggy to me. Make sure like when it transitions from screen to screen, there's a fade in, a fade out, you know, graphics and everything is loaded in before it starts, because Unreal Engine has a problem with that. You know, anything you can upgrade with as far as like Unreal Engine 5.5 and all that. Make sure you're using like the level instances and all the loading techniques to make sure that the gameplay is just snappy, poppy. You load it in, it's ready to go. You load up, it's ready to go. Pick the character, it's ready to go. You go to loading screen, 2 seconds, it's ready to go. All right. Another thing about the loading screen, when I know how you got it where the you loading in and the character's turning in a, but just make it more like, bring the corruptness to it, bring the awesomeness to it. So like, I know Mortal Kombat kind of does that, and then they kind of talk or whatever. But when I saw this, I thought about Samurai Showdown. Not the newest one, Samurai Showdown. I think it was Blaze of Blood. You have the characters there, right? And then you select them. You select them. It tells them the characters jump, then they jump in, and then they fight. Eat boom. I would bring something like that. Just make sure it's like versus go. Like make it tough, but again smooth at the same time. The UI here looks great. I like I definitely like the combo counter. The only thing I would change is like make it a little bit more smoother. And a lot of games is not doing this nowadays. Like they have the character artwork up there, but they don't do nothing with the character artwork. Like I don't need to see the character beat up and bloody. I don't like that in video games per se. But just like make it flash red or something, or something. Like Guilty Gear, it has the icons up there, but there's nothing going on. Like they had this gear thing, but it's not spinning or anything like during a match. It's just, why is it, so put some visual flair to it. Tekken, Street Fighter X Tekken did a lot with them. I mean, there's games that do a lot of cool things with UI. So do that here. Maybe even kind of like bend it in that way, maybe. But yeah, it looks great. Now, combat specifics. I know Roofmonger and you done got tons of feedback on the combat itself. I think it's all right. I like it too. I like the fact that I can just focus on one character. I'm not like huge on team games, but this was cool to me. Just make sure the transitions and everything is smooth. Like, see, like just make sure everything is smooth. Like it's instead of, see what I'm saying? Like, be careful of a bunch of blur and just make sure it's smooth, man. Like, check out Street Fighter 6 and just watch when you grab how smooth it is and stuff. Animation. Make sure your transitions on the animations is smooth. He's got the classic jiggle going on. Let's make that smoother too. I see that. But yeah, like just make sure all the animations has smooth transitions. I know Unreal Engine has a lot when it comes down to that. And again, I'm not just speaking from just, hey man, you can do this, make it do this. I know it's work. I know it's work. But yeah, like when you do a super, you just make sure it's smooth. Try to get rid of the motion blur. A lot of games use post-processing effects and outlines and stuff when they're doing their supers now. Check out the latest Dragon Ball and City of the Wolves. Like when they do their supers and stuff, they has a nice outline, nice transition, post-processing, comic book effects. Make it look cool. Really hone in on the look. Another thing, try to avoid. This looks cool, and there's no like screen bloom or glare on the screen. Hold on, did I just see something right there? I see shadows. And what's that screen space? I see her shadow reflecting off the back of the object back there. Be careful of that. See, like just disable the reflections on that. There's no need for it to have reflection. See what I'm saying? The more reflections and stuff that you got and going on everything, the harder it's gonna be for performance issues. Let me see. Yeah, see, like it's on the water and stuff too. Just a lot of games have that kind of stuff, but if you don't need it, turn it off. Just turn it off. It just helps performance. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, the lights. Make sure like the bloom and stuff on the characters isn't too bloomy. I say that because when I was making my game went through a lot of changes because I had that problem, and it makes the game look very, very put together, cheesy. So make sure like the emissive lights on the characters isn't that like bright, you know, just make sure it doesn't make it look cheesy. What game did I play? Forgot the name of that game, but I was working with a team last year, and I let the manager play my game, and he had me play another game and asked for my feedback, and he was just like, that's how I felt when I played your game. It was some critical feedback, but it really helped me when it came down to the graphics. So now my game looks a whole lot different than what it did. But so yeah, yeah, other than that, man, I don't really have nothing to say. Just make sure everything is like smoothness. You load into a screen, fade in, fade out, no jerkiness, you know, just overperform everything. Definitely animations are good, animations are tight, but if you can tighten them up before release, definitely do that. Her effects look the best. Let's try to make every effect custom so that, you know, you're not like his. I know he has that tornado. Try not to definitely use anything from the pack, but if you do, go back and make it look unique, which I have done quite a lot. And yeah, that's how far are we in? 11 minutes. I don't want to use too much of your time. Appreciate you watching the video. But yeah, everything else is good. Just, you know, make everything look nicer, more sharper, give it more unique UI style to everything over time. But yeah, I think it's good, man. Again, my main thing is make sure it's smooth, performance. Bring out the characters, make the characters pop. Take a cue from like Project L and all the rest of those, because they really making their characters like in your face. They're like, you know, you know what I'm saying? They got that going on it. You know, you can really, it's like, I want to play with him, you know, I want to play with her, you know, so make sure you get that feeling. And I do want to play with the chick at the bottom of this guy here, but I can't. She kind of grabbed me. So, and I see the, you know, the influence in the character below her, and Roofmonger's grab her, you know. So yeah, but just make sure that, man, and I think you got something cool. Like the eye effect. I don't know what's exactly going on, but see, when you have that too much, like if every character has it, you see it kind of it takes away the uniqueness of them, you know. It kind of makes it a little bit cheesy, and tone down the emissive effects. Trust me, too many games that don't do well have like that emissive effect, like they go overboard with it. Other than that, man, everything is cool. I like the character select. I like the little platforms and stuff down there and everything. That's really cool. I don't know your vision. Just make sure it's all consistent. Make sure what you are bringing in, you bring an awesomeness to it, like an impact to it. And yeah, so anyway, just I wanted to get my extra thoughts on it. Hope the game does well. I appreciate people who love their projects and actually spend time with it. So I wanted to come back and make another video when I saw it. I might actually still post the original video, but I'll just set it private and send you a link if I can reach out to you. And yeah, so yeah, good game, man. Get in there. Hopefully we will see this more and it does really well.